This is my Making Major Decisions final project. When considering this final project, the first few things I looked at are what are my strengths and how am I using them in my life? I looked back on the project we did, one of the very first ones, the Signature Themes Report, and using those strengths and the strengths that I feel were not reflected in that, I came up with 3 of the ones that I feel most important to my life right now. First one is discipline. I'm very disciplined in schoolwork and in CrossFit. I'm a leader. Well, I would consider myself a leader. In high school, I was a CrossFit coach for both kids and adults. And here at NAU, I am on the J board for a club called I Am That Girl. The final strength I feel I have is ambition. My whole life, I've been very ambitious. I always knew I wanted to go to college. In high school, I worked very hard to achieve that. I'm also very ambitious in a sport called CrossFit. I have many goals and dreams that come along with that, and I am working very hard to achieve those. So those are my 3 strengths. And then after looking at my strengths, I considered my decision-making strategy. Which decision-making strategies am I most comfortable with, why, and who influences my decision-making? That was like our most recent project, so that one was very easy for me to think of. The decision-making strategy that I feel that I'm most comfortable with is consultative number 1. That one is very true to me because while I am the one who ultimately makes the decision, I need people around me who know me very well and who I trust to make sure that I'm gaining all perspectives and to make sure that I'm really being true to myself in my decision-making process. That person who I tend to go to when consider for advice on decisions is my mom. She influences my decision-making strategy the most. She knows me very well, and her biggest thing is that she always knows when I am doing something that's not what I would like to do. She can normally pick up when it's someone else influencing me. And that tends to be my friends. Even though I value my friends, I try to make sure my beliefs don't mix with theirs. Again, I do this by talking to my mom, really thinking deeply about the decisions I make. But although I love them, I don't want to be them because we're very different people. The third thing I considered during this project is my identity. What people and experiences have shaped the way I view the world and interact with the world. Which internal voice do I listen to, and how has knowing my identity helped me? After some thinking, I came up with a few different experiences that I feel have truly impacted me the most and made me who I am today. I was bullied in my freshman year in high school by my basketball team, and that shaped the way I viewed sports and teams, and that also shaped the way I viewed friendships because a lot of times I thought that they were my friends, and I quickly learned that they were not. I've been homeschooled since the 3rd grade, and I think out of all the things that have shaped my identity, this one has had the most impact on me. I was the one who asked to be homeschooled, and I have loved it throughout my entire life. I always had the option of going back to school, but I found that being homeschooled really shaped me. It really gave me that strength of being disciplined because I had to create my own schedule and stick to my schoolwork. And it just allowed me to see the world in a bit of a different way. The last 2 are CrossFit and church. I found those a bit later in life. Well, not that much later, but sophomore year in high school. I found CrossFit because I had quit basketball after going through experiencing bullying for my team, and I was looking for an outlet, and CrossFit really shaped me into who I am as far as my confidence. I am much more confident because of CrossFit now. And then I really discovered I returned to my faith, but this time it was more my faith and not so much what I had been raised to believe. So then looking at what I ultimately listen to in my decision-making process, there are many voices that go on in my head when I make my decision-making process, but there definitely is one that I feel like that true internal voice that combines all my experiences and strengths, and that is the one that I try to listen to the most when making major decisions. And again, that can be hard sometimes, so that's when I rely on my mom to let me know if I'm truly listening to that voice or someone else's. And then knowing my identity has really helped me recognize when I'm being someone I'm not. Although I consider myself a strong person, I definitely can get wrapped up in other people's lifestyles and tend to become who I am around. Sometimes it leads to like great experiences and me trying new things, but other times I tend to stray away from who I truly am. And knowing that about myself actually has helped me stick to who I truly am and yeah, really making sure that my decisions and that my life are on the path that I want them to be on. So how has this all helped me in my decision-making process? Where is this going? What have I learned? Um, During this class, I definitely threw myself into the decision-making process. Coming to college, I was determined to find a major as quickly as possible. I explored many different majors, political science and journalism, exercise science, nursing, I anything. My problem is that I don't have one specific interest. I have way too many. So I really was determined to put myself into a box kind of. I tried to fit a specific image of like what each major looked like and tried to find the one that would fit best with hopefully the most qualities that I possess and really believe that are my best qualities. So I really tried to force myself into the idea of political science and journalism. And while I'm still considering political science and journalism, I slowly realized that I wasn't being myself. I decided that I wanted to do political science and journalism in about the 5th week of school. And then over the next few weeks, I just was feeling like maybe that wasn't who I was. And maybe I didn't need to make that decision yet. Um, and for me, again, I really got wrapped up in trying to be someone and trying to live someone else's dreams and not mine. So about like this week, actually, I realized that I can't make a decision in 8 weeks. I have already changed so much and in all good ways. And I can't possibly decide what I want to major in yet because I'm still changing. I'm still growing. After listening to Brian Stevenson talk, I felt that I needed to take a step back and evaluate where I'm putting my time, what I'm doing, and really throw myself into the things I am most passionate about now and see where that leads me instead of trying to pick a major and then be that major. So although I've loved this class, I've also learned some things about myself that I think will continue to affect my decision-making process. I definitely learned that I can't make a decision based off of a few projects, and I need to really step back and take the time to really figure out what I want to do and who I am, but listen to my true inner voice instead of my peers, teachers, and feeling pressure from a class. So down the road, I definitely continue to reflect back on this experience and make sure that when I am ready to choose a major, it's coming from me and not from pressure from the outside world, from a class, from my peers, from professors. So for that, I feel like I am truly grateful to this class. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you.